Hello and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 2 AI video with me, Holly Shand. In today's video, I'm going to be looking through the top predicted players in each position going into Game Week 2, as well as setting up the AI team. Help me get this one to 500 likes. Let's get into it. Now, in general, I'm always going to look at predicted points for players over the next 5 game weeks in each position, but I just wanted to take a quick look at goalkeepers just for Game Week 2 because there's an interesting conversation around which one to start, particularly if you're an owner of Nottingham Forest new signing Turner. Sheffield United at home, probably the best fixture on the fixture list for the season, and he is on 4.1 predicted points in Game Week 2, which begs the question, should you be starting him over your main goalkeeper if he's your backup? Well, there's only 3 goalkeepers predicted to score more points in Game Week 2, Martinez, Alisson and Edison, so it's pretty convincing for owners of any other goalkeepers, and you'll notice Manchester United's Onana doesn't even make the top 10, so that's my biggest piece of advice from the AI, is to go with Turner over your main goalkeeper in Game Week 2. Looking longer term then at the AI best defenders over the next 5 game weeks, we tend to think of a 5 game week period as being the really good opportunity of time to make those transfers really pay off. And all the predictions on this video are from the Fantasy Football Hub Points Prediction Tool, available for Pro members right now with 50% off memberships using the link in the description. Now, Trent Alexander-Arnold does tend to boss this category, and having Bournemouth at home up next is really going to help him. But there are some interesting names on this list to bring to your attention. Chilwell in third, already seen a price rise. He's going to be dynamite. Remember that advanced positioning he's got in this Chelsea side, plus the fixtures as well. Everything's aligning to bring him in, and he's winning a race over Reece James right now, who's a little bit more of a minute's risk given his injury history. But also be aware, Man City's John Stones is 5th on this list with 21.1 points, and he could be a player that's going to come good in FPL Game Week 2. He's seen a lot of transfers out after missing Game Week 1, but he has travelled for the Super Cup final, which is tonight. I'm recording this video on Wednesday, so if he comes back into the Man City lineup, remember after the Newcastle game, City have got great fixtures, so he could be one worth holding on to. And the same could be said to Ruben Dias, who sits 2nd in this list, 21.6 points, another player expected to be back fit for this weekend. On to the AI best midfielders, and Mo Salah with that home game against Bournemouth tops the charts on 32 predicted points over the next 5 game weeks. If you've got an easy route to him, especially if maybe you had the injured Kevin De Bruyne, now is the time to jump on board him. Now, Odegaard, Rashford and Fernandes have all seen plenty of sales after blanking in Game Week 1, over 100,000 managers transferring each of them out. But interestingly, you'll see on this list, Rashford and Fernandes are 2nd and 3rd for most points predicted over the next 5 game weeks. So I urge caution, try and hold on to them if you can. Fernandes on penalties. Rashford, if he moves to the wing, I think he can still be prolific. Odegaard not far behind them either, 7th on this list. Just goes to show that maybe we need to be a bit more cautious and give some of these assets that we picked out to be good assets at the start of the season just a little while longer. After 2 assists in Game Week 1, Maddison is up to 5th on the predicted points, and when you compare him to the players around him at that 7.5 million price point, he could look like an absolute bargain, and he's one to really focus on if you are making transfers this week. And Bomo, the other budget option, performing well here in 8th place on 25.4 points, and penalties is certainly going to help his tally this campaign. Moving to forwards then, and Ollie Watkins, the 3rd most transferred out forward for Game Week 2 with 100,000 sales, sits 3rd on this list on 24.7 predicted points. He's one to hang on to, as is Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson, who has great fixtures, had 3 big chances in Game Week 1. Once he starts scoring, I don't think he's going to stop with the run of games that Chelsea have. Isaac and Wilson also make the top 10. However, these 2 players will share minutes, but despite having dreadful fixtures, AI loves their underlying numbers and is predicting them to still do well over the upcoming schedule. Let's have a look at how the AI team did in FPL Gameweek 1. It's a conscious decision to lock in any changes by 4 o'clock on Friday UK time. So AI didn't hear about Stones being out of the squad for Manchester City. So that was a bum note in our squad. Pinnock came in for 1 point. Estupinan, the star of the defence, and in midfield, Saka and Matoma were the big returners, with Haaland captain and Watkins also delivering. That meant 65 points for the AI team, with an overall rank of 4 million going into game week 2, with one free transfer, nothing in the bank. Looking at the AI recommended transfers as well, and you can get your AI recommended transfers by using the link in the description to this video. You do need to be a Fantasy Football Hub member, but you can save 50% off your membership right now. Now, the main recommendation for game week 2 is to save the transfer, with the alternative option to sell John Stones for Reece James. Now, this transfer could change closer to the deadline when we get more news on Stones' availability and his potential minutes for game week 2 and beyond. So obviously I'll make the final transfer at 4 o'clock on Friday, judging the situation, seeing what the AI recommendation is. But given that Stones is in the Super Cup squad, I think probably rolling the transfer is how AI will approach this going into game week 2. Game week 2 team selection then, and Turner starts between the sticks on 4.1 predicted points, benching Flecken on 3.3 points for game week 2. The back line is Gabriel, Pinnock and Estupinan, with Baldock and Stones dropping to the bench as the substitutes. But as I said, this is an evolving situation, and by Friday it could be Stones that comes in to the 11. Moving into midfield then, and it's double Manchester United attack with Rashford and Fernandes away at Spurs, who are conceding chances. Double Arsenal midfield as well, with Saka and Odegaard, with Matoma travelling to Wolves. That'll be an interesting fixture to see how they perform. It's a 3-5-2 formation here, and high hopes for the front line, with Watkins at home to Everton. A great fixture for him this week. Really surprised to see how much he's been sold in FPL. And obviously Haaland at home to Newcastle, with West Ham's Mubama dropping to the bench once again. When it comes to captaincy then, Haaland is the obvious pick for this team on 8.3 predicted points, beating Rashford into the vice-captaincy on 5.5 predicted points. Now, interestingly, Mo Salah's predicted points is 7.2. So if you're a Salah owner, AI would recommend that you play Haaland as your captain over Salah this week. Drop your FPL dilemmas in the comments then. I aim to answer all of your questions. And if you're interested in getting more of these AI predicted points or your own recommended transfers, head to Fantasy Football Hub using the affiliate link in the description to this video. That will save you 50% off your membership, and it'll also get you access to the full AI team reveal once everything's confirmed on Friday at 4 o'clock. Help me get this video to 500 likes and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've just hit 22,000 subs, so thank you so much for the support. I'll be back tomorrow with all the experts' advice, so hit the notify button so you don't miss that one. Thank you for watching.